Please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps make the content better. Since when did you turn into such a bore? That's what my wife, Lauren, tossed over her shoulder while she rinsed a wine glass and did not look at me. I'd come home early, skipped the gym, made salmon, set the table. I raised the topic gently. She'd been distant, colder than January, and I wanted to fix it. She smirked and asked that, like I brought home a spreadsheet instead of dinner. If I'd known where it was headed, I told myself later, I would have skipped the salmon and built a different plan that night. Turns out, I still built it, just not the way she imagined. We were in our townhouse in Richardson. 2 bedrooms, the second one my office, because I run maintenance crews for a property company and live by checklists. Lauren works in marketing. Her crowd is brunch and banter, a chorus of head tilts and clever digs. It used to be cute. Then the digs turned into a sport, and I stayed the target. I started with the basic question. You've been off all week. Work rough? She clicked the glass into the rack. Work is great. You hovering is not. I get one question, and I'm hovering? You get 1,000 sighs and still miss the memo. She dried her hands and looked at my shirt like it had personally offended her. Relax. You're acting like a hall monitor. Or a husband who noticed. Since when did you become so dramatic? She reached past me for her phone. Seriously, just stop nitpicking. It's dull. I stood there, fork in hand, and the smell of fish felt stupid. I let the silence do a lap. I don't do drama, I said. I do straight lines. If something's off, we fix it. She was already walking to the couch. We're fine. Don't make it a thing. I let that be the end right then. Not because I agreed, but because I took the note. She wanted distance. People show you what game they're playing. You either play it or you change the rules. 2 nights later, we were at a backyard party at our neighbor Rose's place. String lights, lawn chairs, a folding table with bowls of chips, and a metal tub of ice. Mike, my friend since high school, the kind of guy who makes a joke and a point at the same time, stood near the grill, flipping chicken and grinning like a referee who already knew the final score. Lauren floated in her circle, Nadia with a loud laugh, Tessa who collects husband's mistakes like bottle caps, and a new face named Brooke who talked with her chin up. I brought over a plate of wings. Nadia nodded at me. Here comes Mr. Project Plan. Brooke smirked. Does he have an agenda for the chips? Lauren didn't miss the chance. Oh, he has an agenda for everything. The man schedules his size. They laughed. It wasn't said with love. I set the plate down anyway. Good news, I told them. The wings are spontaneous. Tessa tapped her cup. Careful, girls. If we move the spoons 2 inches, he'll file a report. Lauren added, don't tease him. He's sensitive lately. Since when did you become so sentimental? That word does not mean what you think it does, I replied. But keep going, this is stand-up night. Mike coughed a laugh and handed me tongs. Trade you. I'll take the spontaneous wings. You take my beer before I forget where I put it. Rosa, quiet as always, watched from the patio with that face neighbors have when they sense a marriage slipping, the face that says they know more than they'll ever say. Nadia leaned into Lauren. You should bring him to trivia. We'll fix him with some competition. Lauren rolled her eyes. He hates fun right now. He wants to talk about feelings. I asked who said that. You. She popped an olive like a punchline. Every time you look at me, it's a survey. Okay, I said. Here's a survey response. No more couple games for a bit. Tessa squinted. Why? Because I don't volunteer for home field heckling. I answered. Group fun is only fun when it doesn't come with a side of cute disrespect. There was a pause. Brooke made a face. Who took your humor hostage? No one, I said. I just found mine. It was under keep some dignity. Lauren's smile tightened. You're being intense. Call it a boundary, I told her. Public digs are off the menu. Rosa looked at the lights like they needed adjusting. Mike flipped a thigh and murmured, took you long enough. Nadia raised both hands. Relax, all of you. This is a party. I picked up my beer from Mike. Exactly. So let's enjoy it without using people's marriages as props. I didn't say more. Didn't storm off. I put a mark in my head and moved on. My initiative that night was simple. I ended the ritual. No more trivia. No more couple roasts. No more, it's just a joke, with my name on the dartboard. When Rosa later sent a group text about karaoke Thursday, I replied, you all have fun. We're sitting this one out. Lauren sent me a single dot in private. Then nothing. The next morning, Lauren slid a mug of coffee onto my desk like it was a peace treaty. Truce. I leaned back. Over what? Over you taking things too seriously. She shifted her weight, softening her voice. I'm sorry if I went too far. The girls get chatty, I get caught up. It's not personal. It's exactly personal, I said. But I hear your apology. So you'll stop sulking? I wasn't sulking. I was adjusting. I pointed at the calendar where I'd blocked off 2 Saturdays. I'll be at the shop with Mike these weekends. We're getting a truck. Sunday I'll be out early, back late. She blinked. Both weekends. Yep. It's my version of trivia night. I pushed the coffee toward me. Thanks for this. Are you punishing me? No. I'm managing my time. And I'm done walking into rooms where my name is a punchline. She pouted like I'd stolen her favorite toy, then backed off. Fine. Do what you want. I did. That was scene 1 of the new rules. My time, redirected. A week rolled by. I stuck to my schedule. I woke early, hit the yard, met Mike at his garage to tear down his old F-150. We cut. We bolted. We argued about paint. He cracked jokes that landed where they should. On the parts, on ourselves, not on our wives. When I got home, Lauren had already eaten or was just running out. The tone in the house changed from cold to drafty. We operated like roommates with different playlists. One Tuesday night, she sat at the kitchen island scrolling her phone while I cooked pasta. The girls want to do a lake day Saturday, she said. You can come if you promise not to police the floaties. I stirred the sauce. I'll be at Mike's. She gave this airy laugh. Right? Your new love. My old friend. Remember him? He didn't come with a chorus. Are you going to do this forever? She set down the phone. Avoid us. Who knew a few jokes would melt your spine? You're mixing cause and effect, I returned. I set a rule, you kept testing it. So I changed my schedule. She pointed at the pot. See? You can't even have dinner without lecturing. Then eat with your friends. I will. She hopped off the stool and walked to the hallway. Don't wait up. I didn't. I went to bed at 10, put my alarm at 5, and went for a run. The next evening, she brought softening number 2. She came home with a grocery bag and made me a sandwich the way I like it. Mustard heavy, no lettuce. She set it in front of me. I appreciate you, she said, sweet as a commercial. You work hard. I looked at the sandwich. Now that's specific. She shrugged. Can a wife be nice without cross-examination? She can, but timing matters. She crossed her arms. Meaning I'm not turning the boundary back off because you buttered the bread. She exhaled and smiled anyway. You'll come to Nadia's birthday then? Wear the blue shirt. We'll take pictures. Pass, I said. Send her my gift. I'm done being the clown. I took the sandwich. It was good. I appreciated the effort. I didn't trade it for self-respect. I told myself the same thing Mike had told me earlier at the garage when I mentioned the coffee and the sandwich. That's the first soft shoe, he said. You stiffen up, she smooths it out. Pattern 101. You keeping your line? I am. Good. Because if you blink now, it gets worse. He was right. By the next party, it did. Rosa invited a small game night. I agreed to go for an hour, my condition. I told Lauren. In, out, no long hang. We walked over. Nadia did her stage whisper as we stepped onto the patio. Look who came to visit the people. Brooke smirked. Did we fill out the forms correctly? I set a 6-pack down and held up a hand. Short evening for me. Up early. Of course, Tessa said. He has a curfew. Lauren cut in before I had to. He's on a discipline kick. It's cute. I met Lauren's eyes. We're not doing the cute thing with me. Oh, relax, Lauren replied. If I don't keep him in line, he'll alphabetize the yard. Rosa's husband, Ed, cleared his throat. We're playing cards. Teams of 2. I'll watch, I said. Won't stay long. Lauren rolled her eyes. He's allergic to fun. Correction, I said, stepping back. I'm allergic to disrespect. Nadia lifted her drink. So many rules. Only one, I said. If people make jokes that land on me, I leave. Fast. Brooke looked to Lauren. You okay with your man being this strict? Lauren tapped her nails on the chair. He's in a phase. I'll tease it out of him. I checked the time and decided I'd been clear enough. I squeezed Rosa's shoulder. Thanks for the invite. We're ducking out. Lauren blinked. What? New rule, I told the group. I don't sit through committees about my personality. We just started, Nadia complained. Then keep going. Have a good night. Lauren followed me to the gate. You're seriously leaving? Yep. With me? Up to you. I'm heading home. We just got here. And the tone started right away. I held the gate open. She stayed. I'm not babysitting you. Wouldn't ask you to. I let the gate swing shut behind me and walked across the lawn to our place. I didn't slam doors. I didn't send texts. I turned on a game at low volume, stretched my back, and slept early. In the morning, there was a sticky note on the fridge. You embarrassed me. Try being normal. I tossed it in the trash. My second initiative, money. I split our discretionary account. I moved my direct deposit to my personal checking, an account that predated the marriage. I kept mortgage and utilities paid. I removed the gray zone she'd been using to host half the neighborhood on my dime. At lunch, I called the bank and put 2 credit cards on my individual profile. No drama, just housekeeping. By Friday night, we were official roommates. She came in late, heels in hand, and found me on the couch with Mike. He'd brought over brake pads and a blunt opinion. Lauren looked at Mike. Do you ever go home? Mike answered, only when I want peace. She lifted a brow. And I'm the villain for having a social life. Mike nodded toward me. He never said you were a villain. He said stop scoring points off his name. Same thing. No, I said. Different. You can go out every night. Just leave me out of the punchlines. She folded her arms. That's not how couples work. It's exactly how adults work. She smirked. You're not fun anymore. Mike stood. I'll let you two not fun in peace. He clapped my shoulder. Text me about tomorrow. After he left, Lauren leaned on the arm of the couch. Your friend is a bad influence. He's honest. He's loud. He's right. She stared at me like she was measuring me for a smaller box. You know what? Fine. Here's a thought. What if you actually did something romantic for once instead of threatening to leave every party? I turned off the TV. That's what you heard, which is interesting. She raised her chin. You want to fix us? Surprise me. Sweep me off my feet. Do anything except lecture me. That sentence sat in my head all night. It had a dare inside it, and sometimes a dare is exactly the data you need. I didn't want to fix things. I wanted to believe this was drifting, not deliberate. So I took her challenge the only way I know: plan, execute, test. On Monday, I bought 2 plane tickets to Charleston for a long weekend. I booked a small place near the water, quiet, walkable. I printed the confirmations and slid them into an envelope with a note. You and me. No audience. That evening, I set the envelope on the counter with a bottle of soda and made tacos. Lauren came home, dropped her keys, saw the envelope, and smiled high and wide. What's this? Open it. She pulled out the papers. Charleston? 2 tickets. Just us. Beach, food, sleep. A reset. She looked from the tickets to me like I'd brought her a ring. Then she smirked, and the smirk wasn't joy, it was calculation. This is actually decent. Great. But, you know I don't go anywhere without the girls. I paused. Come again. She fanned the tickets. What did you expect? That I'd ditch my friends for a weekend just because you finally woke up? She tapped the printout. I'll take these. I'll ask the girls. We'll make it fun. You and the girls will take the tickets I bought for us, I said. Don't be dramatic. Buy 2 more. Or 4. Brave men can handle a crowd. You're serious. As a calendar. You knew I wouldn't go without them. This is cute, though. She slid the envelope into her purse. Look at you, big gestures. Maybe my teasing worked. It was like someone turned off a switch inside me. Not anger, not shock, just a click. I felt the exact second respect left the building. It didn't slam the door. It just walked out and didn't look back. Tell you what, I said. Have a blast. She blinked. You're not coming? No. I'm giving you exactly what you asked for. You're okay with this? I'm fine, I said. In fact, I'm proud of myself. You wanted a surprise. I've got a bigger one coming. Her eyes lit up like I'd just promised diamonds. Finally, she kissed the air near my cheek and went to call Nadia. In 2 minutes, the house was air raid sirens and squeals. Pack your swimsuits. He's finally acting like a man, she said into the phone. I poured water, cleaned the counter, and built the plan that had been in draft since the night of Rose's party. It just moved to final. Next morning, I woke at 5 and started a list. Access, space, time, status. Those are the levers. Pull them clean. I called a moving service I use for work. 2 guys who don't ask questions as long as the check clears. I rented a small house I'd been eyeing across town, A plain one-story with a solid garage. I brought Mike for an hour to help me measure for the furniture. He watched me load boxes. "You ready for the flight test?" he asked. "She made it easy." He nodded. "She will try a soft return." "I'm counting on it." I went to the bank and set up a temporary stop on the joint card for large purchases. Anything above groceries flagged to me for manual approval. I transferred my savings to my personal account and left half a month of living expenses in the joint. I changed the passwords on the utilities to my email because I'm the one who pays them, and set autopay to my card. At work, I told Jenna, my lead tech, that I'd be out 2 days next week, moving. She said, "Finally." Jenna is blunt as a mallet and has 3 teenagers. She doesn't waste sympathy on adults who will not help themselves. "You need a truck?" "I got it." "You need a witness?" "Maybe later." She tapped her tablet. "I'll cover the Ridgeview unit. Go do your grown man mess." By evening, Lauren was buzzing with travel plans that didn't include me. She floated around the house, trying on outfits to show her friends over video. I stayed calm. I cooked. I slept. I got up. I worked. I kept the plane of my life level while the engine changed. 2 days before her trip, she knocked on my office door and rolled in a suitcase to test the zipper. "So," she said, "look at you. A few good jokes, and suddenly you're Mr. Bolt. See, it works." I raised an eyebrow. She leaned on the doorframe and put on the sweetest voice she owns. "Well, honey, see, if I tease you just right, you act like a real man. My friends were calling you a joke, but after your little stunt, they say you finally stepped up. Keep that up." There it was. The kill turn. Not hinted, not implied. Hand-delivered, stamped, unwrapped. She believed my effort came from her insults and their approval. That sentence ended any conversation about, "Maybe we can save it." That sentence isn't a slip. It's a summary. I stood, walked to the printer, and pulled out a page like I was retrieving a receipt. I didn't need it. I just needed the moment to decide how to answer. I turned back to her. "I'm glad you liked the surprise," I said. "I'm lining up a new one." She beamed. "Good. Keep them coming." She wheeled the suitcase away, humming. I watched her go. Then I called the movers and told them the exact minute to arrive the morning after her flight. I cleared my calendar for the window. I put every item we jointly purchased on the list to move. The couch, the bed, the dining table, the dishes I bought, the lamps, the rugs. I photographed the house as it stood and mailed myself the pictures for timestamp. Not for court, for my own record. I detached my keys from the set, slid one onto a new ring, and left the other on the hook. I packed my clothes, my tools, my framed photos of my parents. I left Lauren's personal things, her clothes, her jewelry box, her posters from college, in the closet. I labeled my boxes. I stacked them by the door. I slept like I always sleep when a plan is clean. The night before she left, she tried softening number 3. She made dinner. She lit candles like we were still us. She wore a dress she knows I notice. She poured wine and set a plate down for me like we were rewinding. "I've been thinking," she said, "maybe I've been tough on you. I get carried away with the girls. I know I push your buttons." "You do," I said. She touched my forearm. "But I also want us strong. So thank you. For the trip. For trying. For being a man about it." "Noted. You could come, you know," she said, a purr under it. "If you're fun. Have a great time." She paused, then recovered. "Fine. Your loss." She clinked her glass to mine and changed the subject to swimsuits. The things people talk about when they want to avoid any real topic could fill a museum. In the morning, Mike drove me to the storage unit while Lauren left for the airport with Nadia and Brooke, all rolling luggage and sunglasses like a travel ad. She blew me a kiss at the door. "Behave." "Always," I said. "Enjoy the show." "Which show?" "You'll see." She left. The movers arrived on the dot. I opened the door and pointed to the list. We cleared the townhouse like a stage after the final curtain. It took 4 hours. When we were done, the place looked almost like we'd never been there. Except for her things, stacked neatly in the bedroom, and a note on the kitchen counter next to a folder. The note read, "Hope you and your friends find this funny too." The folder held the papers that start and ending, the kind anyone can download and fill out to begin the process. On the corner of the note, I left the spare key. I sent the landlord a message that the furniture was moved for maintenance and I'd coordinate access when needed. I didn't make calls to announce anything. I didn't post. I just got in my truck and drove to the house I'd rented, where the movers placed the couch and the bed and the table. I set up my coffee maker, hung 2 photos, and breathed the quiet like oxygen I hadn't had in months. At noon, Jenna called. You good? Better than good. Need anything tomorrow? I'll be off grid. Back Wednesday. Copy. I'll tell the crew you died of maturity. By late afternoon, the unknown number started. First text, we need to talk. Now. Second text, pick up the phone. Third, this is Nadia. You better answer her. She's upset. I put them on mute. I did not block unknowns yet. I wanted the stack to tell its own story. That night, I slept. In the morning, I went to the DMV, changed my address. I met Mike for breakfast. He whistled when I told him how empty the townhouse looked. You didn't leave a folding chair? Just her things. I'm not a monster. You're a man who's done. Amen. By the time Lauren's plane landed on Sunday night, my phone had a dozen messages from a dozen numbers. One said, "This is Brooke. You owe an apology." Another, "This is Tessa. She's hurt. Fix it." The one that mattered least said, "This is Lauren. You'll come to your senses after you calm down. I can forgive you if you apologize." That one made me laugh through my nose. The word forgive does heavy work in some people's mouths. I blocked the unknown numbers as they arrived. I didn't answer. There was nothing to clarify. My final initiative was already done. The rule was installed. My presence is not a platform for your jokes. Remove the platform, remove the access, remove the status. That's the only language some people respect. On Monday, I went to work like a man with new shoes. Jenna looked me up and down. You look 10 pounds lighter. I left 10 couches behind. Good. Ridgeview has a leak. Take Mike to crawl space. Mike rode shotgun. She calling from different phones? Nadia, Brooke, then a local unknown I'm guessing is Tessa's boyfriend. They take turns. What's the script? That she's the one who can take me back if I say sorry. He barked a laugh. Tell them a joke. A man walks into a boundary, and then he leaves. Stole my line, I said. I gave them a better one in writing. We fixed the leak. We replaced a pump. We grabbed sandwiches from a place that knows how to toast bread. Life kept moving, because life doesn't care if your marriage just flipped. Neither does work. That's how you know the ending is real. The machine of your day keeps turning without squealing. 2 days later, Rosa knocked on the door of my rented house. I opened it, and she held out a tin of cookies like a flag of truce. I'm not taking sides, she said. I just wanted to say I saw it all. The slow part, the noisy part. You were patient longer than most. I wasn't perfect. No one is. She shifted her weight. She came by your old place crying. I kept my mouth shut. But I'm telling you, she's telling people she tried to fix it. She tried to manage it. I said, different sport. Rosa swallowed and looked at the tin. You'll be okay. That house felt cold for a while. It's warm here, I said. Thanks for the cookies. A week later, Lauren left a letter in my mailbox. I could tell by the handwriting. I didn't open it. The return address was our townhouse. I wrote on the envelope, address not current. Return to sender, and slid it back in the mail slot. It wasn't petty. It was precise. Current address is for people who share my life with respect. The divorce, that word I won't use out loud here like a threat, moved forward as paperwork does when no one puts up a fight. I didn't give speeches. I didn't drag her name anywhere. She could have the stories. I kept the facts. The facts were simple. I owned the townhouse before we married. I paid the mortgage. The new place was a rental under my name. When the documents were done, I moved back into my house. The furniture followed me. The pictures went up. My tools had their wall again. Jenna and Mike helped me hang a heavy shelf. Rosa watered a plant and didn't say anything, which was the best part of her help. Then came the final calls from the peanut gallery. First Nadia, chirpy and aggrieved. You need to apologize. She's in pain. I answered that one. Tell her a good joke. Apparently that fixes men. Nadia sputtered. You're cruel. I'm consistent, I said and hung up. Brooke texted, you humiliated her. I replied, no. I ended the show. Tessa wrote from a block number. Real men don't run. I answered once. Real men don't wait for permission to keep their self-respect. Then I blocked the number. That was the last I sent to any of them. As for Lauren, I didn't see her again. Not once. A year can roll by fast when you're busy living. I kept my routines. I took a promotion when my boss retired. I hired Jenna to run 2 crews because she's mean to the right problems. I bought a different truck, the kind you tune slowly on weekend mornings with a coffee mug on the fender. I started playing poker with a small group of neighbors who talk about lawn care and football and who never use anyone's marriage for laughs. I met someone too. Her name is Claire. She's a nurse with a dry wit and no patience for theater. The first time she teased me, it was about my habit of labeling boxes. "You'd label your socks if you could," she said. "I did once," I replied. She smiled. "I like knowing where things go. We take walks after dinner, and if she makes a joke, it's never a joke that costs me. I like that feeling so much I notice it every time and keep my mouth shut, because sometimes gratitude is the only appropriate response." I hear about Lauren the way you hear about old neighbors, from someone's cousin's friend. The town is small enough for gossip to make circles. The last update I got, she's renting an apartment near downtown, jumping from brunch to brunch. People know what happened without me telling them. You can't spend a year using your partner as material and expect there's no closing act. Sometimes, on a Saturday, I drive by Rose's and drop off spare ribs at the fence. She waves. Ed nods. Mike shows up with a bad joke and a socket set. We talk about work and weather and trucks. When the conversation turns to relationships, it's short. Rosa once asked, "Do you feel satisfied?" with how it ended. I wiped my hands on a rag. I feel done. Satisfaction is extra. She frowned. "You don't miss her?" "I miss who I thought she was." I tossed the rag into the bin. But I like who I am without the noise. Later that night, an unknown number texted again. "We need to talk. I'll forgive you if you admit you overreacted." No name. No context. Same script. I didn't reply. I set the phone face down and sat back on my couch in my house, where the pictures sit straight and the quiet is kind. I looked at the table I'd moved twice and the tools on the wall and the pair of running shoes by the door. I thought about the first salmon and the last envelope and all the space in between. Here's the lesson I'd give any man who finds himself a prop in his own home. Don't argue the punchline. Walk off the stage. Take the microphone with you. Leave the lights on so everyone sees the empty space where you used to stand. If they laugh, let them. If they call you a bore, wear it like a raincoat. It keeps you dry. And if they tell you they'll take you back, when you apologize, offer them my one-liner. Tell them another joke. Because if jokes are what made you a man in their eyes, then respect never lived there in the first place. You can't fix that with salmon or a weekend or a speech. You fix it by leaving. With the furniture. With your dignity. With your last sentence delivered calmly. The one that shuts the door for good. Mine was simple, written in pen and left on an empty counter next to a folder and a key. Hope you and your friends find this funny too.